Yo, welcome back to the In Game Podcast, man. I'm Lynch Hunt.
What's up? I'm Rob Brown.
And I'm Jerome Myers. Somehow I'm still on the set, baby. I'm here.
Hey, check it out, man. You ain't brother, man. You ain't climbed through the window or nothing.
Hey,
you know,
I need a sandwich, man.
Hey, man, you might got a key down. Know what I mean, part of the team.
From the fifth floor.
Yeah, with the 4 fingers or 5 fingers with the 4 foot. Okay, yeah. So, real quick, let's give a shout out to Max and May, man, on a brand new addition to the family, y'all.
Yeah,
yo, listen, man, congratulations, man, to Max and Order, man. Just give us some in the comments for Max. Show some love for Max and May, y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Cigars on deck.
All that. What's going on, man? What's going on in y'all world today, man? How you feeling, man? What you got going on, right?
I feel wonderful, man. I'm just keeping it in the road, staying out the ditch, man.
Okay, you gotta break that down for me, man. You know what I mean? We got different sayings up top, man. From New Jersey, bro.
You ain't from North Carolina yet. How long you been here? How long you been in North Carolina?
It's still the language and the lingo. Some of that shit I just ain't got with.
Yeah, it's just you got ditches on the right, you got ditches on the left, and so you don't want to get in the ditch because that's gonna slow down the progress. You got to get the record. People got to come pull you out the ditch. Your ability to drive is going to be questioned. There's a whole litany of things that comes with ending up in the ditch. So I got to keep it in the road.
That's a new one, right? I
got to keep it in the road,
That's
baby.
That's a country saying.
I got to keep it in the road. So I'm just over here keeping it in the road, man. I'm from the Port City, baby. Shout out Port City. What's up, High School? Man. What's up, New Hanover? What's up, Laney?
Yeah, Laney. I know that.
How you know Laney?
Jordan. He know what the school colors are and everything.
That was probably his rival, his high school rival.
Beat him by 10 my senior year.
Shouting out the rival.
Beat him by 10 in their gym my senior year. We was supposed to lose by 20.
Man, that would make me just not like him if he was from the rival. Nah, man, I can't mess with him. I'm just messing with you. What's up? What's going on in your world, big dog? Talk to us, man.
End of year review, beginning of the year planning.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
It's that reflective period. And some people try to do it all before the year turns, but I usually spend the first week of every quarter iteratively reviewing top highlights. And it was really crazy because I went through a class in the third quarter. One of my guys teaches, and he was like, what do you get enjoyment from and what do you get fulfillment from on the things that you spend money on? Because we were prioritizing wants and needs. And I was like, I don't know. And so I put travel in the low quadrant, low fulfillment, low enjoyment.
Really?
And then I looked at my top 25 and 13 of the 25 required travel. So he challenged me when we reviewed
different kinds of travel, though, right? Like you said, required travel. Like if I'm going to a meeting, that's travel. But if I want to go to Jamaica, that doesn't have a business meeting, then that's not travel. I mean, that's not required.
Yeah, but I mean, all of the stuff was like leisure, like F1 in Sao Paulo. We went to New Orleans for New Year's, like just kind of running down a list of the cool things we did. Belize in March, some Jamaica trips. You know, just really understanding and exploring and experiencing different parts of the world. And
got it.
Even the people, right? Like one of my affirmations is I travel the world with the people I care for most, doing things that make us smile from the inside out. And so when we were going through my affirmations, when we were going through that class, and he was like, well, how can I be your affirmation, but this is low? It just he helped show me that I wasn't being congruent in what I was saying. And, you know, I was like, man, this is a big deal.
What's the difference between a want and a need?
I think a need is something that has to happen in order for you to be able to survive. It's the lower order things that are animalistic, right? And then the wants are the higher level things. When you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So self-actualization, transcendence, those things are more wants to me.
So the food, shelter, clothing,
that's the low level
those are
stuff.
Needs, but then Versace clothing is a want compared to getting a.
But what's interesting about that, right, is we start developing our standards, right? And with our standards, we need clothes. Do we need clothes from the Goodwill store, or do we need them from a luxury brand like you just mentioned?
Right.
The clothes are a need, but the level that you satisfy that with is, I think, where you can get out of need and move into want.
Right.
I think the needs are the minimum level of satisfaction. If we talk about health stuff, like, do you want to work out or do you need to work out? And at what level? Because you were telling me that story about the lady who didn't want to work out as aggressively as she has to in order to participate in a resilience training. But I think it goes to your goals too. Now that, like, I mean, this for me just keeps growing. Like, I've never been asked that question directly, but like, if you've got a specific goal and that goal is something that you absolutely believe is necessary or integral to your life, then the things that you have to do in order to get to that place, don't they become needs? I don't know the answer to the question, but as I think about this question, that's what I ask.
That's where it's taking.
Yeah, because I mean, like, literally that lady's health thing, right? If I say I want to have 15% body fat, I got to eat certain stuff. I got to have my heart rate when I'm at a certain level, when I do certain workouts, and I probably got to lift heavy stuff in order to get there. Like, I don't think you can just say, I need to have 15% body fat, and then those things not become a requirement on the backside of it. But I'm not a fitness expert, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you just got to challenge yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be like heavy. You just got to challenge yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
I tell you what, they was today the first? No, this week was the first week of the new challenge.
Yeah,
it was a warm-up week.
It was a warm-up week?
Yeah, lab line.
And we were talking about this this new lady.
Yeah.
She was standing there like,
I don't know what I signed up for.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And I actually paid for this. Yeah. How can I get out of here? There's no back door. How can I leave without being seen? That's the look she had on her face, like, this is dumb. Kind of like my saltwater cleansing that I tried.
Tell us about that, man. I'm still trying to understand what happened.
It was dumb because I have alternatives to meet the same need, right, that aren't as violent. But when I heard about the saltwater cleanse, it only takes 5 to 40 minutes to do the same thing versus my old process that takes, 24 hours. So I was like, man, shoot, I can get this done in 5 to 40. Yeah, give me that. But consequences came along with it. It's just taking warm water, 32 ounces of warm water, non-iodized salt. You shake it up, the salt dissolves, and then you got to drink it in 5 minutes. And then this brutal war starts to happen in your colon, your stomach.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. It was just, but it was like, yeah. It wasn't emotional. I was just pissed. Like, why'd
you subject yourself to this?
Nobody ever said it was going to be,
Yeah. So they never tell you that about anything, right?
You sell the vacation. You don't sell the travel to the vacation.
Yeah. Me and Wendy did it on our. We did a saltwater flush when I was still in prison. It was pretty dope. My dad did it with us. God rest his soul. He did it with us. It was tough. It was tough on it's tough on an old person too. Super tough on an old person.
Now, if you want like an empty colon, it will empty your.
Oh, it's going to empty you out. It's going to
empty you out for sure, right? Yeah. But at what cost? And I'm like, this reward is not worth this level of sacrifice and pain.
Yeah.
So I was telling my slimming tea.
I was telling Rod earlier. We went from so I sent you that little video of the natural cleanses and stuff that. We went from saltwater flush to a psyllium husk flush. So in jail, I have access to Metamucil.
Okay.
Metamucil and psyllium husk is the same thing. So I was able to do a fast.
You're saying psyllium? Like is that a plant? What is that a tree bark? What's psyllium?
psyllium husk. I don't know. It comes in the damn what you call it?
Google. I gotta look up.
Powder form. It's like a
I mean,
supplement.
it don't matter. Like you know what Metamucil fiber is? It's fiber.
I do.
So
Okay.
so you're gonna take fiber. You know what Metamucil is, right?
Yep.
So I got Metamucil. Put it in the cup. Put the water in it, and that's all we actually had to ingest and consume for a certain amount of days.
Oh my gosh.
Psyllium husk.
I guess you don't need to eat.
Well, you fasting, you don't eat anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now you fasting and flushing, which is, dope stuff. Yeah, you just gotta, you'll figure it out. You know what I mean? It's just some of the things that we run across on the internet now, like I've actually done them.
You validated it.
Yeah.
But did you have to do that? What are you down? 10 pounds since the new year?
I sent you another picture. I think it was another 2 pounds on that picture right there. So 12. I think 12.
Is that what you had to do to get down 12 pounds since the new year?
I ain't do that yet. I ain't even do that yet.
How do you lose 12 pounds in less than a week?
They got to sign up for the fast, for the challenge. They got to sign up for the challenge. They got to sign up for the challenge.
Get the secret. To get the secret.
Yeah. It's just you got a comprehensive step-by-step process that as long as you stick to the script, you know what I mean, you always know how to get back or get there.
Why isn't like why isn't like sticking to the script? Like why isn't like your script why is it scrutinized? Like everything is freaking scrutinized.
Everything. It's cool.
Like and I don't get how people like ignore the results to like spend time on the scrutiny.
I do.
How or why do they do that?
Because they have to do things that aren't normal for them. They want extraordinary lives, but they only want to do normal things.
Mm-hmm. That's a bar.
So by now, everybody knows about the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe, right?
Yeah.
I don't really want to get into the minutia of that, but the interesting thing that came out of that was the scrutiny of Shannon Sharpe's ability to interview people.
He's pretty good, at least in the stuff I've seen.
And so
I don't think he did. He don't do much.
What he said, what people have been saying, particularly people that do, what he does for a living, that are journalists.
Yeah.
They're saying he left too much meat on the bones. He could have gotten so much more out of Cat Williams. He didn't ask this. He didn't ask that. Now, up to that point, no one has said anything to him about leaving meat on the bones with guests. Mm-hmm. But this one just goes crazy, and people are scrutinizing him, saying it could have been so much more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I'm like, even being a journalist, how do you sit there and not appreciate the work that he did do to get the results that he has gotten?
Yeah.
That are likely light years beyond results that you've gotten. Yeah. How do you nitpick at that? And versus go, let me find out how he did that so I can.
Well, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything, but have a conversation with somebody who gave.
So Cat sat there and talked to himself.
Absolutely. What the fuck? Did you watch any of it? All I saw was some clips. I saw some clips.
I watched it.
Now, how much did interjecting and stopping did every now and then?
So you didn't watch it?
You should. Nah,
he watched the clips. He watched the clips.
I watched enough clips to know how that shit went.
Enough. Okay.
Cat Williams did, bro. You ain't gonna let me talk.
I didn't say. I just said okay. I'm just like,
because I'm telling you,
amen. I'm in the amen corner right now.
Nah,
I'm like, okay.
I don't want you to. I don't need you to be. I just need you to understand what I'm saying.
But I want to be. But go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. Let me tell you what you need to do. All right, since you want to do that. All right, wants and needs are two different things. So we on Maslow's hierarchy of things. So this is what needs to be done. Real quick. What needs to be done is for you to understand that the content is what went viral, and it wasn't Shannon Sharpe or his ability to do this, that, and the third. That dude was talking. He was giving up some stuff, and he let him give it up. Right. So if anything, the journalists that would have stopped them because of all of the meat they left on the bones and they wanted to say, give me some more about that, he let him flow. Right. and led him to whatever the conversation went. So he had a conversation with a dude that was comfortable enough with giving it up. You understand what I'm saying?
So was letting him flow a thing?
Here's what I'm saying is when two,
because we may have wanted to interrupt him, slow him down, say, "Yo, Cat, let's talk about this. We'll get to that." Yeah.
So when you are with two people that are talking about something, when this guy is more of an expert on the subject, what do?
Let him flow.
We let him flow.
Let it flow.
Ain't not. So here's the thing: their journalistic expertise only gives them technicalities. These people are just technical people. Shannon Sharp didn't go to school for this, so you know what he is? He's a practical person. So a practical person, if they want to make magic, what they do is go study the technical side. When the practical and the technical meet, these two circles, there's a shaded area where magic happens.
So you're saying the same results would have happened on any platform?
He didn't hear nothing that I said.
And if it was a technical person sitting there having the conversation or interviewing, the technical person would have been doing an interview,
right? Which do not have the skill set and the traits of a practical person. Okay. So when he let his technical stuff meet his practical stuff, magic happened. Most of the times, people who are only robots and only go by the script and things like that, they cannot interject the things that come from their personal skill set. So I got some stuff that I do super dope, and then I got some stuff that I got from the book. And then when I actually bring that stuff in today, I was telling y'all about, in order for anything in the universe to grow, it's got to be stretched, it's got to be broken down. Right. And then I showed you were doing a pull exercise. I'm like, yo, in order to stretch your lat on the pull, your arms have to be straightened out, right? They got to be stretched out. That puts your muscle in the elongated state. Then I actually taught you about stretch and flex and all this different type of stuff. And I said, the more you're going to stretch, the more range of motion you have, the more muscles you're going to actually bring in. When you bring more muscles in, you're going to recruit more motor units, and you're going to get more muscle fibers. Right. You're going to have more muscle growth. Right. There was a whole bunch of technical stuff in that, but when I'm showing you this, I'm showing you from a practical standpoint. Right. I didn't learn it in the book first, and then it wound up making magic as you start doing it right. So when y'all left, I taught what's the name how to get a calorie a pull on the what's the name? He almost lost his mind. From the technical and the practical, he just experienced the magic just like that.
Gotcha. But so Oprah wouldn't have gotten that magic.
Oprah's been doing it long enough now to throw her craft in there with throw her.
I'm confused. But okay.
No, you're missing it. You're missing it. All right.
I said so. I'm confused.
You're not, because here's the thing is, the hardest part for people is to be able to draw parallels. And this is where I never get confused wherever I go. You know why? Because I literally can look at stuff and say, this dude right there act just like cousin such and such. This one moved just like such and such. I'm watching these movements. I'm looking at that. Yo, cousin such and such just ran up on such and such. I knew they was about to fight. And I got the hell away from them.
You saw the patterns?
Yeah, I went to my cell way before that shit jumped off. Pattern
recognition.
But that shit it don't make me do one thing over the other and shit. Like it don't move me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all good, man. I was gonna break it down to you, but you don't want it. You don't want it.
What?
You don't want it.
Where did that come from?
So
what do you mean I don't want it?
So here's the thing. Kobe Bryant because I got to move now from journalist, because you're only thinking about journalists. The first analogy you went to was like Oprah, and Oprah had the technical, and then she had to go get experience, bringing her personality into the stuff, interviewing people through, just in different settings and different demographics and all that type of stuff, and develop a style that wasn't just by the book. And that allowed people to get comfortable enough to open up and give some great interviews. And then she knew how to make the story come across to the people and to where they could get emotional, they could get connected, they could get bonded. And that stuff is where you get more viewers all the time. So when we were sitting here behind the scene, I'm like, yo, you gotta figure out how to get the information, that the shit that you like, and then bring your skill set, your craft, your gift, your personality into the thing, and magic fucking happens, B.
Right.
That's what it's all about. So most of them journalists, one, they ain't got no personality. So this guy's up there being him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So 100%, Shannon Sharpe is gonna be him. I fuck with him because he gonna say, yeah, nah, that's how we do it.
Right.
And grandma used to say, and mama used to say, and all that. And that's what the fuck I want to hear, because I don't fuck with none of them other people. Remember I told you a couple weeks ago on the book joint, I'm like, man, fuck what that nigga talking about in that book. You know what I'm saying?
But you said he didn't do anything. He said he ain't do nothing.
Who?
Just let him.
The dude?
Shannon.
Shannon?
Yeah, in that interview.
Did Shannon do a good job?
Shannon, listen. I don't look,
First of all, you don't know because you ain't seen the whole thing. You sound like people that listen to our stuff and come at us about things and come at us about a piece like a scripture. You don't know the context of the scripture. So
tell me, Google real quick what Shannon. Do me a favor. Google Shannon Sharpe's major.
I saw that coming.
At
It
Savannah
was football. It was football.
Exactly. And how many years did you do football for?
Probably
all right,
5.
cool. So I don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about. What makes this nigga a journalist right now is that he got a microphone. You hear me?
He was on
been
TV.
on TV.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That was a microphone. That's a camera. We journalists now.
Here we go.
Right? Yeah.
But Shannon says he's not a journalist. He says he's a conversationalist.
I understand that. And what did I say? He had a conversation with the people. So he just did what he does.
I just want to know if he did a good job because I didn't watch the interview.
Well, it don't
They'll say he did nothing.
He didn't have to
Dude
do
was
nothing.
a criminal justice major.
Boom. Hopefully, he was taking lawyer and interrogation and shit like that. But
Got it.
Whatever.
The DA.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh boy.
I mean, give me what do you think?
I don't think it was accidental. So, like
the content is what made it pop.
The journalists complaining is accidental? Or you don't think the style that he conducted the interview was accidental?
I think he did a great job, and a part of doing a great job is getting out of the way and knowing when to get out of the way. Because a couple times he actually tried to get in the way. And then he was like, to himself, let me get out of the way. And then he got out of the way. But I think that's skill. That's not accidental. It's absolutely. The content was definitely the catalyst, right? But Shannon had to throw the alley-oops when he had to throw the alley-oops. He had to shut up when he needed to shut up. He had to have some level of skill. And so to say he did nothing to make that go, I just think that's not true.
Awesome.
You don't think that's fair?
Yeah.
Fair characterization.
Yeah, I wouldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you ran with the high end of nothing, which is cool. Nothing. Zero.
What's the high end of nothing?
I mean,
the absolute of nothing?
Well, here's the thing. I think we was talking about something and I said, some of this shit is good to an extent. Just don't be an extremist. And you're being super extreme about nothing. So there could be somebody on your team. Hold on. Let me hold on, because you act like you played basketball before. You played sports before.
Yes.
All right, cool. You played against Laney. Beat him by 10. All this other shit.
At 24. Now, I remember the stat line, baby. 24.
We want to use these stat lines.
6 blocks.
Now, and that's a dope game.
Yeah.
That's a dope game. Yeah. Now, there's another dude that had 2 points. He had 4 assists, and he had 6 turnovers and 1 steal.
Right.
Guess what we going to talk about later on when we get over there? I'll be like, nigga, you ain't do nothing. That's what I'm going to tell him.
Even though he has some stats.
You hear me? He got 2, 4, 1, and 6 turnovers. You know what I'm telling him? Them 6 canceled out the 2 and 4. Nigga, you did nothing. That's what I'm going to tell him. You ain't never done it. So I'm the only one that told the motherfucker.
Look. Nobody's arguing. I'm not arguing.
Relatively
I understand what you're saying.
Now you're talking about relative. I'm telling you that there's a nothing that produces something, and then there's a nothing that gives you nothing.
There are levels. There's levels of nothing.
Absolutely. That man with the 2, the 4, and the 1, he did
I'm
nothing.
literal. So when you said nothing, I went to straight absolute. He did nothing. So.
Right, because you don't bring the practical side into things.
I was wrong.
You played basketball. You forgot about all them years you did in basketball, and it was hard for us to have a decent conversation because
Shannon Sharpe did nothing. He ain't do nothing.
But I think your original question was about the journalists being critical of Shannon.
Yes.
And I think what it really is I think we got to complain in nature. Default.
Easy to complain, right?
The default mode is to complain about a situation, whatever we've done and whatever other people are doing around us. And the idea, the concept, the thought, the belief that we get out of that, I think is higher order. And I think it's a function of the people you're around. And I mean, I go back to when you called me in the gym, you're like, why are you complaining about the burpees? You're going to do them anyway. Right. And it's just going to the complaining nature. Or like when I got like deep into the resilience training and I was super sore and nobody would talk about being sore. And I was like, y'all not, I asked one person on the side, I was like, you're not sore? He's like, yeah, of course I'm sore. And I asked you, I was like, you sore? You're like, yeah, I'm sore. But there is no conversation about it. It just is. And I think it's where your focus goes, your energy flows. And so
100%.
If you want to make headlines, be controversial, if you want to make headlines, complain about something or be a victim, because then people rally around that. Right. The positivity doesn't track. And I mean, I think that's something for the audience, for the listeners. Like if you're not sharing positive content, like if you go back through your Instagram feed or you go back through your text messages and you look at the content that you've shared recently, and it's all sensationalized, it's not anything uplifting or positive or to help somebody grow, you got to assess whether or not that's going to help you get to where you want to go.
Right.
And if you're pushing that positivity, like if you're not sharing the show, you might need to.
Right.
Because you shared a thing off Shade Room or Baller Report or wherever, right?
Shared the fight.
You shared the fight.
That was in Walmart.
I mean, well, they're not even watching this shit. So, you know what I mean? Like,
You gotta fix that.
I mean, we gotta
fix that.
But it only fixes it if people who are watching it share it, right?
Exactly.
Because I mean, word of mouth is the most credible way of growing.
Yep.
I mean, you could pay for ads, you could do all the other stuff. Organic's always slower, but if you do it that way, there is no reset when you turn the ad off.
Right.
Right. It continues to grow. It continues to build.
100%.
So, but the complaining nature is something that I've only become aware of over the past couple of months. I just assumed that positivity was the thing. I think you can acknowledge a condition, but the desire to complain about something, like regardless of whether, and this is an example of like me trying to take and put this into practice, regardless of what food is placed in front of me, if I'm at a restaurant or at home or wherever, I smile at it.
Yeah.
I smile at it and I pause and I smile at it. And I'm just grateful for the fact that it's
intentional action.
I started
Is it? Huh?
I started as a
cultivated.
Yeah. I mean, some people say grace, right? I look at the food and I smile at it. Even if it's not prepared exactly how I would have desired for it to be prepared. Right. Some people get upset. Like I got a steak, I ordered it medium and it ended up being well. And some people would be upset. They're frustrated. They want to complain about it. I can still eat the steak. It's not like it's charred. You know what I mean? And I just think that just changes the way that we move in the world.
Got it.
Yeah, I think the environment got to change. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so when you put yourself in, this environment, the standard changed and like, the thought process changed and stuff like that. So, the old guard has a narrative and over here, there's a totally different narrative. So the journalists are going to be mad. The traditional journalists are going to be mad, but none of the new, influencers are going to be, upset about the way the joint went.
Well, I mean, think about their position, right? He got, how many, you told me he had 15 million views?
Sitting at 15 million in 48 hours.
In 48 hours.
Right.
There is not a piece of content unless they're on some major network, right? Maybe talking about the war or something, that's going to get that level of notoriety. So I keep hearing this over and over again, and I'm beginning to believe it. People want you to do well, but they don't want you to do well better than them.
Yeah.
Right. And so why is this guy without the formal training and the years and years of experience getting that level of attention?
Right.
what has he done to deserve it? I had a guy tell me, hey, Jerome, I got to figure out if you even have the ability to do what you say you can do, because based on what you've told me, your level of success is a lemonade stand. I was like, ooh. And I sat back and I was like, maybe he's got a point.
Right.
Or not.
Yeah.
Right. But he's also 25 years ahead of me. So would I consider what I've done a drop in the bucket 25 years from now? I hope so. But that doesn't mean that I would ever say that to somebody who's 25 years behind me either. Like, I would probably be looking for ways to help them go to the next level, because it's cool that you've had that level of success. Let's see if we can take you to the next level. But again, this is all the complaining nature. I think people are looking for ways to, particularly men, to put people in order, the hierarchy.
That's just a characteristic of men.
You
think men complain more than women?
So
since you brought it up,
yeah, the complaining, I don't. Verbal complaining, I don't. I think women are more vocal about their experience in their state. But the hierarchy thing, there was some study, and I can't quote what study it was, but they basically said if you put a group of girls together, they're going to do stuff where they're in community and they're just enjoying themselves, maybe talking. As soon as you put boys together, they're going to go try to compete and establish the hierarchy of who is the leader or the alpha.
Got it. Why do you think like, and I'll ask you, Lynch, and it's just a lower hanging fruit. Like, you're very fit and you can regulate your body weight at a decision point. Like, why do you continue to do that? And so that's the micro question. The macro question is, why do people that are successful do anything to keep them successful? Like, why do they do the rudimentary things to the block and tackle to remain successful?
Yeah, I think it boils down to what he was talking about earlier, the standards. When you talk about standards, like, you get comfortable at a certain point, and then you have to actually challenge yourself to, move forward or to get better. And then, you experience something where you have a celebration. And sometimes we get too comfortable where we go backwards, and we go backwards to a point where we're challenged again, and we have to grow back just to get to the standard, sometimes. And then you find yourself in a, this rat race type of thing. Then you got people who are just challenging, growing, creating bases, and continue to go, higher and higher and higher. We was talking yesterday. I did this goal setting workshop. It was pretty dope. And Coach Mike was on the call, and he was actually giving a testimonial where he was saying how when we did this exercise in 2018, he has reached every single goal that was on the paper from 2018. And, it just was some kind of confirmation for a lot of people. So that then raised the question to him, say, here's 2023, why haven't I moved forward or revisited, this same exercise and done it again to, challenge and grow. Right. And what happens is we get complacent, we get content, we get comfortable on this level. And I said, well, at the end of the day, your house had a 5-year expiration date on it. The new car has a 3-4 year expiration. You're tired of it after year 3, you're ready to get another one. So that was a goal before. You like jumping in it now. It's the good one, and it's the one that I drive to go here, and you're still rocking with it. But until you set a new goal, or you get, the car breaks down, then you're not challenged to actually grow and get a new car. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So one of the two has to happen, but it still comes with the challenge. And sometimes we're so comfortable that we just don't want to challenge. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And when I don't want to walk around at 6 and 7% body fat, I just get comfortable eating whatever I want to eat, and then it puts me up 25 pounds, and then I lose 16 pounds in a couple of days because I can. So I'm just comfortable with this yo-yo shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really haven't put the work in to just stay like this all the time.
Yeah,
So
but
my
you
mindset changed.
talk about the block and tackling, so you stop going and getting on the scale every morning.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You might still take the pictures of your food.
Give me my secrets.
Nah, I mean,
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Challenge.
He stopped taking out the blocking and tackling. He ain't doing the X and O's. And that when you don't measure, and I'll say it that way, when you don't measure, you get in a place where you have utter chaos. Right, you were telling me about dollars being moved to the bottom line based on an intentional review. Yeah. And I think the most important thing for me in this conversation today is just you have to be on some schedule for intentional review.
Yeah.
Some people do it daily, some people do it weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever it is. But if you're not doing it until every 5 years, then you've got a whole lot of space where it can get loose and get real flabby.
Right, and I mean the most important thing is reflection.
Yeah,
once you get the reflection on the experience, then you actually learn or you extract the wisdom, the understanding, the knowledge just from the reflection. Yeah. So if you just in something and you can't see past what you're in, it's going to be hard for you to actually sit back and say, all right, let's really assess this thing.
Right. I think you also have to have a keen sense of your emotions, because the emotions drive a lot of this stuff, right? So the car breaking down, that's going to create a certain kind of emotion. The tires wearing out, that's going to create some type of emotion. So pretty much everything you said, there's an emotion tied to it. And so if you're not, if you don't have a tie to the emotion, if you can't read the emotion, if you can't go, oh, this is happening, this is the emotion, so this should happen, right? That walk through those steps, then you might miss it too. So for me, I know a lot of the change that happens in my life is tied directly to emotion, how I'm feeling about something. And then, I do the deep dives, or I do that review because I'm not feeling good about how, something is going or something is moving. So,
but in the end, do your feelings really matter?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't manifest anything without, injecting my emotion into it. I can say, I want this, I want that, I desire this, I desire that. But
do you feel like getting on the bike at 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, I don't think about getting on the bike. I think about the result that I want. I think about how I want to feel. I think about that.
So do you have to, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, do you have to have the feeling to take action?
I think so. Yeah, I think you have to have the feeling to take action.
Yeah,
I don't think any action
manifestation is a bridge. Like it's there.
Say more.
It was just thoughts equals feelings. Feelings turn to beliefs. Beliefs turn to actions. Actions turn to habits. Habits turn to your identity or your character, and your character influences your decisions, and your identity influences your decisions, and that determines what you actually do to get to your destiny.
So when you don't feel, there's people listening right now and they're like, man, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to the gym.
Right. Yeah. So there's a loop, and there's thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to beliefs. So you have this dialogue. It's not a monologue. It's just not that I don't feel like it and you stop. Right. You have other information that says, but if I do this, then, so there's your belief. Yeah. Then that's going to say, if I do this, man, now he got the end result, which is giving him another feeling. Right. And then the other one's having a conversation. Yeah, but we could just 30 minutes. We could do it later. And then here's it. But lynching them about to put in all day cardio and stuff like that. And there's another thought that goes in. You know what I'm saying? But accountability make you 80% more active so that you can go over that feeling that you actually have. So that group makes you more active. 100%. That's why we said the environment and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why people don't manifest things, because they forget to sprinkle in the emotion. Mm-hmm. If there's no emotion tied to me saying I want to own an island, if it's emotionless, it's just like it'd be a cool thing to do, to have an island, to own an island, take my friends and family, go hang out on the island. It will never happen.
What's the E stand for in emotion?
Energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
So now when you put the two words together, it's energy and motion. Yeah. So if you have a negative emotion, then you have negative energy that is fueling you. So you have a motive for action. And if you tie negative to the motive, how far are we going to go? Right? Now, if you tie positive to the motive, right? Motivation is motive to act, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, I agree with you. The thing that I'm trying to put myself, because I listen to the podcast when I ain't here, right? So if I'm on the other end of this and I'm watching it on YouTube, I'm thinking, man, there's people who only recruit kids to play sports that come from single parent homes or have been abused or whatever because they're upset, they're mad, right? And so they're taking these negative, I think they're negative emotions, I might be wrong, but then using those to repurpose that energy to get positive outcomes.
Well, they have that in them, and that's not the sole reason why they're recruiting them. They got to be good. They got to be good.
Well, they think they're good because of the level of aggression that they can muster up because of.
Well, they didn't find that out until they had conversations, did a deep dive, but they was already attracted to the way they was playing from the rip.
Like one of Michael Jordan's secrets is that he would create emotion. He would make things up.
But it wasn't positive. He wasn't like, man, I love Kobe. He's like, I want to destroy him.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like he told his teammates that this dude was talking trash about them. And
he made the letter, there was some letters or something, right?
I don't remember that part.
Okay.
But yeah. And so he would create things in his mind to generate an emotion to go destroy the opposition. So it was him manufacturing emotion to help him go do extraordinary things.
Absolutely.
So I just believe that emotion piece is paramount.
I mean, in practice, he would, you had the shirts versus skins. He would get up 25 points and 30 points with a shirt on, and he would take his shirt off and come back from the 25, 30 point that he created. It's just go shit, man.
That's bananas. Listen, I saw this. Y'all posted something, and it has a weird name. Has a funny name.
Is it? Is it weird?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Well,
it's Latin.
Unweirded for me. Tell you, I'm simple. I'm a country boy, man. I'm simple. So
you didn't take Latin in high school?
No, man. No, I dropped anything that wasn't English, bro. I dropped Spanish. Yeah, I got out of there. It wasn't required, so I got out. I didn't do it in college. I don't know how I finagled that, but yeah.
That doesn't sound.
You know what was crazy though? Before we even jump into that, once I got to jail and I started studying, I realized that damn near every word in our language was made up. And then once you start studying words, you start to realize they derive from Latin origins and all that different type of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why we picked.
I can go down that rabbit hole of stealing. Made up
dope stuff, yeah.
But it's Veracrypt.
And
so like break the Latin word down. Break that down. The Vera versus not versus, but Vera and crypt.
Yeah.
And then marry the two.
Dope.
I like the way that you broke it down.
Yeah. So tell them what Vera is. Tell them what Vera means.
You tell them what Vera is.
So in the two words, you literally have what crypt is hidden, right? And Vera, what's the word that Vera comes from?
Vera, it's live. But I mean, it goes back to
we went to potential. Yeah, we went to potential with it. So we literally used Veracrypt so that we can help people uncover or discover their hidden potential. And
their buried potential.
Their buried potential is
like a grave, right?
Well, it's just like hidden, deep.
One form. Got
Yeah. Yeah. So it could be a deep dive. You know what I mean? So here it is. It's just that we all have gifts, we all have ideas, we all have like some stuff that the world needs, and it will literally like change, generations if we do a deep enough dive, if we're resilient enough, if we're, respected enough, like, you know what I mean? If we could get them jewels up out of there, if we're rich enough, you know what I'm saying? If we can do those things we need to do to pull that stuff up out of us, then, like When we bring all of us together, you bring your gift, I bring my gift, you bring your gift, you bring your resources, I bring my knowledge, you bring your resources, you bring your knowledge, when you bring your information, then together, like, it's a force of nature, B.
And it's like, and what's funny but not funny, it's like you're describing it like it's obvious. It's an obvious thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's not so obvious to people.
And that's why we did the Latin word, right? Because it makes people stop, right? It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right? And then there's some Egyptian influence because we got the scarab tied in with it, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though.
You got the what tied into it?
Scarab, the beetle.
The beetle.
Yeah. I'm slow, man. I just want to.
You're not slow. You messing with me right now. But what I will say is this, man. It is obvious. It's all hiding in plain sight. It's all hiding in plain sight. And sometimes when you are aware of something, you forget that it's there. Like your gift many times isn't special to you. It's just normal.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
No, it's special to me. It ain't special to the people that's close to me.
So
that's facts.
But
because you know
that's the environment.
Yeah, and that book that you refer to from time to time says that you're not going to be respected in your own town.
That's
your
right.
gift is not going to be respected in your own town.
That's why we created this group. That's why we created this whole thing, so that there's people that are searching. There's people that they need to be recognized. They need to pull this stuff out. They just have so much in them, and they're ready to go to that next level, man. It's just, and we once you bring those people together, man, it's just so many opportunities, man. We going, whew, I'm excited.
You have no understanding of what it is, and I'll go on a limb and say there's a void, right? To think
Absolutely.
3 guys that look like us is going or doing something like this in partnership, not just like it's your platform, in partnership, going to build something like this and creating a space for people. I don't care how successful you are. There's no way you could come and sit in the room and not get something.
Impossible.
And not if you're truly a generous person, if you're truly a rich person, and not give something.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want reciprocity. You want mutual benefit in the relationships. And I think so many people just sit in their ego. Like, what do you know more than me? Or what can you do that I can't do? Or why would I pay money in order to hang out with you? Because it's going to change your life.
Because this grilled chicken costs. That's why you pay money. I went to a paid, it was a workshop, paid workshop. And one workshop, no, not one segment, one probably 15-minute segment paid for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Because
all it takes is one idea.
One idea. And so it was something real simple about growing revenue with my existing client base. Mm-hmm. And I never gave that idea attention. Mm-hmm. Was never intentional or gave it attention. It was all like, how can I get the next customer? How can I get the next, 5 customers? How can I get the next 15 customers? And so adding 30% to the bottom line from my existing customer base and learning how to do that.
But it's every year. It's not just that one time.
Right.
And this is the thing that people miss. It's like, how can I afford to invest that much in myself?
Or not to.
You can't afford not to.
You can't afford not to. And then, I don't know if I told y'all, a young lady hit me up and was like, can I make payments? And I hit her back and was like, yo, just pretend this is Beyonce. Pretend it's Beyonce. Just pretend that you coming to see Beyonce, and break your neck, do whatever you got to do, like people did. People didn't pay rent. They didn't do whatever. Because, and the other thing too, I think people get confused with investment and expense.
Absolutely.
So they look at, a number and they go, man, that expenditure will do X to me versus that investment will do X to me, right? The investment is going to 10X you. If you treat it as an expense or you look at it as an expense and you don't come, you're going to stay right where you are. So I don't know. I truly believe this. and I don't want to disrespect God, but I think standing next to, if you lined every single, person up, every single man up, Rod is going to be somewhere, I'm not going to be at the front of that line in terms of skill set, in terms of intelligence, in terms of experience, right? But one thing, me saying, you know what, man, how does Jerome do that? How does L do that? I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to come around. I'm going to ask you, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on this, right? And that's simply benefiting from your years of knowledge and your years of experience. And I for the life of me, I don't understand why people, I know your go-to is ego. You said it's the ego, and that 100%. May very well be it. But if someone's life, if you can change your life by sitting in proximity with someone, right? Yeah. Or asking someone a question and getting the answer that can change your life, like, how big does your ego have to be to interfere with you doing that?
For a lot of people, they would rather stay where they are than you be able to say that you influence their path to success.
That's tough.
That's tough.
I think for a lot of people too, they may not have had the opportunity until now. So we've created an opportunity. Now there's really nothing standing in the way but them.
Oh, well, I mean, the funny part is we're talking about an investment less than $2,000.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
But I'm skewed. I'm tainted.
So let me tell you. So at one point when I was broke, take my mindset at one point. My mindset was, I got to figure out what I don't know, right? And it's going to cost me, right? And I was literally like, I got this $700, I got this $1,200, I got this $1,500. I can't pay my bills anyway, right? I can't pay the mortgage with $1,200. Mm-hmm. I can't pay the 2 car payments with $1,200. So I might as well invest this $1,200 into me possibly learning something that can take me to the next level that is going to get me that $1,200 back 10 times. Yeah. That was literally my mindset. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but it was like, man, I ain't got enough money to pay the bills anyway, so let me take this thing, let me go over here and do this.
It sounds like back against the wall.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. But still, I think people will, some people will be like, yeah, I don't have the money, or I'm this expense is too much, so I'm not gonna invest.
God bless you.
Versus going, you know what I'm saying? Versus saying, man, this thing could change my life.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with trust and stuff too, though.
100%.
It's you got and predictability.
Somebody I was talking.
Hold on, say more about the lack of trust.
Yeah. So I just think that, if people don't trust you, then they don't believe that, your trustworthy acts were, I guess, important, or they not seen enough of them to actually trust you, to have predictability of the results that you're actually saying they're going to get from this less than $2,000 investment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's it. And again, that's tied to emotion too, right?
Yeah, but I think they just don't see the value in which you, me, or him may add to their life.
Yeah.
And then in synergy with 3 of us, and then in synergy with 10,
whoever else is in the room.
Else is in the room, 100%. Right? And you don't know who else is actually going to be in the room.
Because the goal is to attract, this is high achievers.
Right.
Assemble.
Right. Yep. But and with that being said, you get 10, 15 high achievers in a room, and then we all run across opportunities every single day.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden there's an opportunity on the table. Some people are like, man, I wish I would have heard that was for sale in 2018 because now it's worth such and such.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Well, this is a place and a space where those things will be brought to the group's attention, and we're going to be practicing group economics, and we're going to move on something after it goes around the room and we figure out if this is something that is worth, us, getting into and going into. And that's how we're going to actually change the way that we're moving together, and then the community, and then the city, and then the state and the region and the world, because it's going to grow fast.
Yeah, I think there's another element to that whole trust equation, right? Like, I think sometimes people might say, or they might believe that they trust you, but they don't believe you, right? I trust you.
They say it, but they really don't.
I don't believe you.
Well, they go hand in hand.
You haven't done anything to violate my trust. So yeah, I trust you, but I just don't believe you.
Yeah.
Well, I think people value money more than anything else.
You think so?
The majority of people, I think about the way they act, right? And my favorite thing to go to is how many people have unprotected sex before they share their bank account and their credit score with the person.
Right.
Because, literally putting your life in the other person's hand when you do that versus your willingness to be able to share that private thing about yourself. So in general, I think people value money more than their time, more than their health.
Interesting.
I was like, this dude's wild. I'm serious, man. Think about it.
I don't know. I mean, and we can go down a whole nother rabbit hole. We don't have time to do that, but we could, because we could say that they like what money does or what money can do. It can give you the freedom. It can give you that time. It can give you less anxiety. It can give you options. So the money itself, because then you have a whole nother conversation about levels of money, like what is enough, if there is such thing. And that's tied directly to your standard and your beliefs and the way you move.
Your needs and wants.
Your needs and your wants.
So let me give you an example real quick before we get out of here, the way it goes. So if you go to Jerome's Instagram profile, right?
Let me go to his profile.
It says Coach Myers, right? So you're a coach, right? Can you tell me a little bit about the coaching you do? What kind of coaching you do?
Yeah, we help founders figure out what's next. If you're growing your business and you're going through one of the 8 exits, from leaving corporate America to selling your business for 8 figures, we help you figure out the next steps you need to take in order to do that. Then on the backside of a big exit where you get a large financial windfall, we help you figure out what your significance play is.
Is coaching expensive with you?
It's $10,000 a month.
$10,000 a month. Well, you send me an email. I hit you back. And I thanked you and appreciate you for the value that you add to my life and the community in my return email, right? Because of what you thanked me for, right? And what I've done for you in your life. And that reciprocity was because of the proximity. And you shared with me one thing as a coach in a business for marketing. You shared me one thing in marketing that has literally 10x some stuff in the last week, right? And because of the proximity, right?
Because I only sent that to you.
I know.
You're the only person.
One, because we are around each other so much, you kind of know what's going on.
I know the journey.
Right. You know, yep. And
we're doing life.
And that's it. So we're
it's a t-shirt.
So here's what I'm saying is that anybody that's watching this, like, you can do life with us now in Vericrypt.
Yeah.
And one piece of information that my man usually is charging.
It's expensive.
Super expensive for.
Yeah.
He gave to me and I 10x some stuff in a week.
That's dope.
I haven't had a week like this in 52 of them.
That's dope.
You understand what I'm saying? So can you imagine if you just said, you know what? I'm going to invest this into this group, and if I get a piece of information from that seed, then I'm in the game.
And that's the posture. And Rod and I talked about this on the episode where you weren't here. It's Are you coming looking and seeking for the thing that somebody else knows that you don't know? Or are you just trying to figure out what you already know?
Right.
I already know that.
Yeah.
I'm already hip. I already know.
Right.
Well, what about all the other stuff that you might not know?
That was like when you were telling us about the stretch and how the muscles work, and your boy said, Biggie said, I know that, but still wasn't doing it. He's like, I know that. I've been around you. Like, I know. I'm like, oh God.
And when you
Shout out Big E. What up, man?
The fast. You were talking about the fast training. I was like, I can't be giving away the secrets, but I ain't gonna give you what the letters stand for. Where you said the fast training, he was like, yeah, you can't Google it. It ain't there. And I was like, I'm always looking. And you start dropping the vocabulary words. I'm trying to put the vocabulary words into use because I'm always looking for the thing that somebody knows that I don't know that could take me to that next level.
Here's the thing, man. I'm so like Master P when he had the one dude out there shouting. It's a big old crowd of people, and Master P had the one person that was rocking with him. And he's like, I got him now. I'm if that one person, is rocking with us.
Bro,
we got him now.
You don't understand. I took a page out of your book last night. I didn't get the numbers that I wanted on my that I put on my goal sheet for the goal setting workshop. Yeah. But the people that I had in the room, I was like, yo, I'm there now. Like, you know what I mean? You know, just
all I need is one to prove the concept.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. People see proof all the time.
Yeah.
Like, so we're going to be in the room. And they're gonna see the proof. They're gonna see your, because there's a great deal of transparency that's gonna be in the room. They're gonna see your proof. They're gonna see my proof. They're gonna see your proof, and still will be skeptical. It still will not come the next time.
And does that serve you? You can fight for your limitations, or you can fight for your future.
Period.
And so, does it help you to be skeptical? In no way, shape, or form, outside of the episode where Rod said he was going to be a taker, have anybody experienced the three of us coming to them with the desire to take something from them that wasn't
to harm. Nobody's done that.
And it won't happen.
Right. Period. Point blank.
Standards. Building.
Yo, we about to get out of here, man. I just want to thank everybody for doing what you're supposed to do, sharing this video. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I just want you to share it. That costs nothing. Share it, share it, share it. So thank you. Man, it's a new year. We're excited. VeraCrypt. Check out VeraCrypt. We're going to put some information down in the comments.
JoinVeraCrypt.com.
Yeah. Check us out, man. We need you in the room. I just
room where it happens.
I'm a firm believer that what you're connected to happens to you.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And that what you seek also seeks you. And when I put that stuff together, it's okay. I'm gonna seek the connections. You hear me? That's gonna take me to where I wanna be.
I know what it is, man. Y'all wear sweatshirts, man, and dashikis, and that's what it is. Y'all don't look rich, man. Y'all don't. Wait, where's your ice, man?
I got some on.
That's it.
I give you my abundant.
The Buster chain, man. Where's your Buster around?
There was a guy I was looking at him on Instagram today, and I was like, "How do you make money? Because you got 88 events on Eventbrite, and I don't understand." And it's crazy because I was sitting pretty low at a Charlotte Hornets game, and he was there, and he was sitting across on the other side.
Right.
I know what those tickets cost, but I have no idea how. Right. Anyway, yeah.
He might have got, like, I was at Beyonce in a box for free.
Yeah, I don't think he got comped in. I mean, he might have a different network than me, but I don't think it was that.
Cool. Anything else, man? Y'all got anything else on your chest? Y'all need to get off. Y'all need to get some Cat Williams stuff off y'all chest.
Hey, man, I'm like Cat Williams all the time, man. I'm always just talking shit, man. Shit.
You my guy, though. I'm talking about nobody say about you. Yeah. You my guy, man.
You talk. I said, yo, man, it's a great video you did, but man,
dude, I gotta show you this, man. Oh my, it was the worst compliment ever. It was the worst.
I was like, but compliment no video
ever.
though.
Can't wait to see it. The worst compliment
First, I complimented you first.
You complimented me first and last.
It was a sandwich. It's a compliment sandwich.
Bookend. That's it.
Bro,
it's all good, man. Don't tell the people what I said, man. Don't do that,
Why
man.
Why not? This is the worst.
I'm a coach. I pick you up, put you down, man, pick you back up again. That's what I do,
this
man.
This is the worst compliment.
Nah, man. Man, makes dope content, man.
You know, when you get a compliment, you're like,
was that a compliment?
Or was that a coaching up session? What?
I got you, man. I want to see you better. That's all.
I appreciate you, man.
I want to see you better.
Close the show out, man.
I appreciate you. Yo, that's it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with us.
At you.
Share this video. My name is Rod Brown.
My name is Lynn Chunt. Check out that Vericrip, man.
I'm Jerome Myers.
I'll let y'all the next one. Peace.